Good morning. The day is September 23, 2022. It's a Friday. Welcome to the program agenda, and thank you for joining us today, especially all of you who are subscribers of Cignal TV, and of course, those of you who follow after us on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, welcoming you today, and let's get on with our program, beginning with our daily starter, which comes from Walter Winchell. A friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world walks out. Please remember this, take it to heart, because as your Kuya Cito, your big brother and your friend, I will testify to the fact that many of my very deep friendships or long-term relationships are friendships that happened when I decided to be a friend to those people who were abandoned. Hindi po yung basta iniwanan lang, but being a media person, I have access to all of these powerful and formerly powerful political individuals or formerly successful businessmen. And that seemed to be a calling in my life. I would always be there for the people when the chips were down or when they were out of a job or were kicked out of office, etc. And that made them realize, why is this guy being my friend when there's nothing I can give him in return because I've gone bust or gone broke? And they realized that it's all about friendship, about caring for a person. And what's happened is, because I was there for them, they have remained in my life and the friendship has grown. So be there when everyone else leaves, because you will be appreciated and you will discover a person that not everybody really knew. So that's our daily starter. A real friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world walks out. Okay, let's now go to the front page of the Philippine Star, because apparently very interesting news today. The headline, Tycoons Woo U.S. Firms, tells them Philippines is open for business. Tycoons or successful businessmen and women in the Philippines are now part of the presidential entourage in the United States and are giving presentations and inviting American investors to come to the Philippines. One of them is Ayala Corporation's chairman, Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala. For instance, is part of the economic briefing panel discussion on economic development outlook, and they were talking about how the Philippines intends to be a middle-class nation by next year. Okay. The interesting news at the top of the front page, the court junks bid to declare CPP, NPA as terror groups. The Manila Regional Trial Court has denied the petition of the Department of Justice seeking to declare the Communist Party of the Philippines New People's Army as a terrorist group. In her 135-page decision, Manila RTC Branch 19 Judge Marlo Magdoza Malagar said, after going through the papers of the organization and its programs, it shows that the CPP-NPA was not organized for the purpose of engaging in terrorism. The judge also noted the difference between purpose of the organization and the means of armed struggle in achieving its end of overthrowing the government of the Philippines. So, in short, based on definition of purpose, the court has decided that it cannot, or the judge has decided that she cannot declare the CPP and the NPA as a terror group, okay? Because while they may be using violence to achieve their purpose, it is not the purpose by itself on paper. Okay, bahala na kayo. I'm sure that will go all the way to the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, at the upper part of the Philippine Star, we see photos of French Prime Minister, French President Emmanuel Macron with First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos and President Bongbong Marcos talking in the sidelines of the United Nations 77th General Assembly. On the right side, BBM greeting Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, and where BBM spoke with both leaders of France and Japan, and soliciting their support for the country's goal of becoming a middle-class nation by next year. Okay, and then a bit of bad news. The U.S. Fed hikes rate anew. Tagtaas na naman sila ng interest. Okay, and the peso in a free fall now at 58.49. Last night or yesterday morning when you woke up, it was 58. This morning, it's now 58.49 to $1. Okay, please prepare for lots of rains because Tropical Depression Carding is expected to bring heavy rain over parts of Luzon starting tomorrow as it heads towards the country's landmass according to Pag-asa. Okay, so yan po. Now we will give you updates here on One News during our news breaks because this will definitely soak all of you. Yung maglalaba, magbibilad, magkukulag, gawin nyo na ngayon dahil bukas tapos-tapos ang maaraw na araw. Okay, meanwhile, the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, DHSUD, launches BBM housing program in Quezon City. Okay, yesterday in a groundbreaking ceremony and memorandum signing between DHSUD and the Quezon City government. So ayan, meron ng housing project named after the President, pambansang pabahay para sa Pilipino. Okay. Lower to that, you have a photo of Senator Cynthia Villar handing over the latest edition of the Directory of Farm Schools, Tourist Farms, and Learning Sites in the Philippines, handed over to President Marcos by Senator Cynthia Villar during the signing of the EO. This, I believe, is a late release. It was done September 13, and as we all know, the president is in New York, so medyo pahabol na press release pala yan. Okay, DepEd, mandatory wearing of masks stays in schools. Okay, while wearing of face masks will be voluntary in open spaces and non-crowded areas with good ventilation, it will remain mandatory inside classrooms, laboratories, and other school rooms according to the Department of Education, which is very good. And allow me to congratulate and thank the many Filipinos because I have been going out frequently. And pansin na pansin po, many or the majority of you continue to wear your face mask. And I was commenting to myself yesterday, from the looks of it, we might even have lesser flu cases this year simply because we're all wearing masks and, limiting our outdoor activities. Philippines enters phase of acceptance in pandemic, according to businessman and Go Negosyo founder Joey Concepcion. Filipinos continue to learn to live with COVID-19 virus as the country enters a phase of acceptance in the pandemic. Kumbaga, Tagalogin, tinatanggap na nila, hinayakap na nila ang katotohanan that the pandemic has to be part of their lives and our lives. So that's all the news we have on the front page of the Philippine Star today. I hope that helps you. And please go online if you can't find the newspaper or read or buy. Don't want to buy the newspaper. At least go online and read it because there's much, much more. Pahapyaw lang po yung basa ko sa umaga. There's so much more inside the Philippine Star. Excuse me. Yan ang hirap pag nauulanan ang matanda. Okay. Let's now go to our interview, and so that you guys will have something light to look forward to, think about. Let's talk travel. Ika nga, eto na naman kayo. Makadinig kayong travel, maghahanap kayo ng sale, okay? Typical of Filipinos, when they hear this magic word or this title, Travel Mart, your heads go on a spin. You go on 20,000 RPM. Where's the Travel Mart? When is the Travel Mart? I want to book in advance. Ayan po. Okay, so my friend Sunny Koo, who helps organizations bring out the word, told me that the Travel Mart, I think, is going to be next week. So he helped Agenda arrange an interview with two individuals, two ladies, to tell us about the Travel Mart, but also to tell us what's going on in the business. Meron pa bang travel agency? Because when my wife went to Holland, the Netherlands, she said, well, I feel safe because you can't travel while I'm away. I said, why? Because you don't know how to book online. Because there are travel agencies pa, I thought. Okay, let's roll out the Betamax, Gab, and let's meet our guests for today.
Fe Ablinyu is the General Manager of Arfel Travel and Tours. She currently serves as President of the Philippine Tour Operators Association and Chairman for the upcoming 33rd Philippine Travel Mart. Mary Ann Ong is the General Manager of Bridges Multi-Business Services Incorporated. Being part of PHILTOA's Board of Trustees, Ong currently serves as First Vice President of the organization.
Okay, good morning, ladies. Welcome to the program agenda, and thank you for joining us on a very short notice. But when the talk becomes all about travel, we just have to grab it. Fe, good morning to you, and Marianne, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Fe. Okay, I think you're on mute, Fe. Can you please check?
Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning, Fe. And welcome to the program. Okay, let's get straight to the topic first. Let's talk about the Travel Mart first, and then we'll talk about travel agencies and your businesses and your lives later. But when is the Travel Mart going to happen?
Well, first and foremost, good morning to all your millions of followers to this early morning program. The 33rd Philippine Travel Mart is going to happen this coming September 30 to October 2 at SMX Convention Center, halls 1 to 4. And this will be, of course, our exhibitors are all, from different tourism industry businesses like airlines, hotels, resorts, travel agencies, tour operators, and all other related tourism business.
Okay, September 30 to October 2. I'm already checking my calendar. So that's going to fall on a weekend, and it is at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay. Am I correct, Marianne?
That's correct. At SMX Mall of Asia. We are occupying 4 halls, and we are very happy to announce all our booths are 100% taken. Ibig sabihin, the establishments are very gung-ho about the future of travel. They all want to participate in this Philippine Travel Mart, and wala na, naubos na po yung booths namin. Everybody wants to have a piece of the pie. So I'm very excited to tell your televiewers, marami po kaming sale na mai-expect.
Ayan, okay. Now you're getting me into trouble. You know, do not use the word sale on television because there will be hundreds of thousands of Filipinos rushing there again. Fe, how many agency, yung bang mga booths na yan, all travel agents, what is the profile of the booth owners?
Well, okay. Profile of booth owners. As I said a while ago, airlines, hotels, resorts nationwide, all other tourism-related businesses, theme parks, catering businesses, wellness
destinations.
Wellness destination. And of course, travel agencies and tour operators. They are all present there to sell tickets, to sell all other kinds of packages, not only within our country, but also in our ASEAN counterpart and all over the world.
Okay, now, Marianne, why is the Travel Mart always such a big thing, especially now? Because even my wife was under the impression that anything travel related will probably be all online or 99% online na, and face-to-face will become I see you ladies shaking your... Go ahead, free for all naman tayo. Wala nang hintayan. Sagot na kayong dalawa.
If I may...
Ay, sige. To answer your question, why are people very excited when they hear the word travel? It's because for 2 years po, nakulong po tayo because of the pandemic. So now people are experiencing what we call a travel revenge. It's like yung inipon nilang pagpigil for 2 years, ngayon nilang is-splurge, ganyan. Kung before they were thinking, should I go to Bohol or should I go to Boracay? Now they will go Bohol and then Boracay. Lahat, wala nang choice. Talagang pupuntahan ng mga tao.
Makalayo lang sa bahay, galit-galit na, no?
Yes.
Okay, Fe, go ahead.
Sir Cito, I just would like to add, the importance of travel agency and tour operators. Hindi po kami nawawala at wala po kaming planong mawala sa industriyang ito sa turismo. Why? I agree with you, the digitalization, we are already in that stage. However, our presence is still very much needed because there are times that no matter how you book your hotels, your airlines, everything online, there are cases that you will, face some challenges. And you cannot talk to the computer. If we are here, you have something to talk to. Hey, Fe, what happened with my booking? I cannot book. I cannot check in because obviously there's no reservation. So you can still talk to us. And for all, the very lifeblood of this tourism is the MICE, the meeting, incentive, conferences, and events.
Yeah.
In that MICE, our presence is very much needed because it's a face-to-face. A MICE to be more successful is a face-to-face activity.
Okay.
And that is where we come in, to facilitate the transaction between the two parties, and we are in the middle to have a very seamless activity for MICE. So
yeah. I've heard of situations also, people who are booking, especially yung mga Airbnb. When you look at the video, wow, it's so nice, it's so beautiful. And then when they get there, mas maganda pa yung kwarto ng driver ko at saka nung maid ko. Ano ba itong pasok natin?
Yes, that is true, sir. Because kami po, before we sell a hotel room or a resort, we have seen all of those. That's why we have the word familiarization tour.
Yeah, yung mga fam tours.
Yes, sir. That is where we educate ourselves. They give us the opportunity for us to see the properties of the hotels locally or internationally. And so much so that when we have our client, we are in authority to sell, hey, Sir Cito, you stay in this hotel because I can guarantee they have a very good breakfast. Their linens are very clean. Their towels are very clean. And they have a very good and a very, very efficient staff. That's what naman we can be proud of as a travel agency and tour operator. That you cannot get online.
Let me go to Mary Ann this time. Mary Ann, you said the dangerous word or the magic word, sale. Marami kayong sale sa Travel Mart. Now, tell me, I'm not doubting the integrity of the Travel Mart, ladies, no? Pero alam mo dito sa Pilipinas, when some stores use the word sale, hello, hindi naman sale yan eh. Diniscount nyo lang for maximum retail price yan eh. But in the Travel Mart, why do my friends keep telling me, Cito, you should go. Because there's ang daming chamba. Is it chamba or is there an agreement between PHILTOA and the Travel Mart na, teka, you must have X% of your offerings on sale? Mary Ann?
Yes, meron nga kaming ganon. We choose our exhibitors first and foremost. They are accredited. Either they have the proper business permit, they are DOT accredited, they are members of PHILTOA. So hindi dun pa lang alam na nila na filtered na namin. And these are all legit businesses. And secondly, we all know if you join PHILTOA for the 3 days, you give bagsak presyo packages. Packages that the public cannot buy elsewhere, only during the 3-day Travel Mart. That's why people are so excited because they can buy tickets to Europe via our partner Turkish Airlines, or tickets to the US through our Philippine Airlines, or anywhere around Asia because we are also partnered with AirAsia and Cebu Pacific. So yun ang kina-excite ng mga tao.
Okay, now what sort of sale are we talking about? Because syempre ang tanong ng tao, ano ba yan? 20%, 30%, 50%? What up to on the average, hindi yung mga piso sale diyan na isang silya, isang piso, isa lang pala silya.
Hindi naman ho piso sale, but we normally get ang tickets ngayon to Europe and US, aabot ka na ng $2,000. Normally the airlines, I think they will slash if you choose a very good day, ibig sabihin medyo malayo pa siya, you plan it ahead and it's on a not peak season, you might get it for less than $1,000. That's what we are looking at.
Well, that's very really below the average because my wife, my daughter, and my sister all just left for Europe because the girls had to go to school. And hindi po tayo mayaman, ano, yung nakakuha po ng mga scholarship yung mga bata. Ako ay nagbenta ng sasakyan para makaalis yung asawa ko. Eh baka sabi yung yaman naman ng Beltran. But that's true. The tickets that my sister was looking at, she couldn't find anything below 1,700, and she had to really look for these airlines and look for that unusual date, unusual time. But below $1,000 to Europe, bihira na po yan, mga kaibigan. And mind you, those of you who might react to Turkish Airlines, it has upgraded and it is a very good airline. I have friends who have taken Turkish Airlines and they said, you should try it, Cito. May endorser nga sila, hindi ba yung artista, yung American, Afro-American actor? I'll remember later. But they have a very good reputation nowadays. Now, so many of these people are going to give sales, etc. What are the highlights of the Travel Mart? I mean, how did this come about? It's the 33rd Travel Mart. Paano ba nabuo yung Travel Mart na yan?
Cito, initially, it was a project of the Department of Tourism.
Mm-hmm.
Until about 5 years, it's being handled by the Department of Tourism. Until such time, because PHILTOA has been an association for over 36 years.
The Philippine Travel Operators Association.
Yeah. It has been in this business for almost 40 years. Mm-hmm. And so there was a time that DOT and PHILTOA collaborated, and DOT transferred the management of the Philippine Travel Mart to PHILTOA's management. And so the rest is history, and now we are on our 33rd Philippine Travel Mart. This is an institutional travel mart that we do every year. During the pandemic in 2020, we did it on a small scale. Mm-hmm. In 2021, we did it also on a little bigger one in SMX. So we really have to be, as an association, promoting not only international, but largely domestic destination. We have to be present, and we have to be the forerunner in promoting our destination. That is the mandate of PHILTOA, to promote, to collaborate with the Department of Tourism, mm-hmm. the Tourism Promotions Board, in promoting our domestic destination, which you will agree with me, Cito, that during these days, even the borders are already open. We are still enjoying the domestic tourism. What we are doing now is we are improving the domestic tourism. So dyan po tayo talaga kumakapit for now, and we are very, very lucky to have a very supportive, government. Of course, we have the Secretary of Tourism and the Tourism Promotions Board and all the local government units nationwide.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad that you said that, because I don't know if you're aware, before I was in media, I used to build resorts in Palawan, specifically what is now called Discovery Paradise. When we built that I called it Club Paradise after the movie. And when it was sold, it was named Discovery Paradise. But, back then, that was always the issue, that travel agencies preferred to only promote foreign travel and also the five-star destinations. Naiiwanan yung mga starters. But because of the so many things that happened that affected tourism, people realized if we want to survive, we are going to have to learn to appreciate and promote the local tourism of all, both big and small. Anyway, ladies, we'll go for a quick break. When we return, I'd like to find out what is happening with travel agencies and operators, because like I said earlier, many people think there are very few travel agencies left. May natira pa ba? How many are there? We'll go into that. We'll just go for a quick break here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program Agenda. And with us this morning, we've been talking about the Philippine Travel Mart, which is going to be on September 30 to October 2 at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay City. They are occupying areas 1 to 4. And all the space has been taken by hotel operators, tour operators, airlines, resorts, and name it, it's all going to be there. So please just make sure that you wear your masks, etc., etc. So, Faye, how are you guys going to ensure the safety protocols and health protocols at the Travel Mart? Because I'm sure that's going to be a concern. Because alam ko just before 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 2019, wow, para kayong naging divisoria. Sa dami ng pumunta, and that's a cause for concern.
Well, actually, sir, preparations have been in place. We are in close cooperation with the city of Pasay. Mm-hmm. The city that has jurisdiction over SMX. Mm-hmm. We are also in close cooperation with the SMX people to ensure that protocols will be followed. Mm-hmm. In place, of course, are the rescue team. We have the ambulance. We have the fire trucks, and we have the Red Cross on board.
Yeah, but what about the flow of people? Of Marianne, will you be following kasi di ba meron parang maximum capacity per hour, kumbaga, okay, yes. Binibilang, okay, stop. Yes. Is that going to be observed?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Meron talagang Pinagmitingan po namin yan with the health regulators of City of Pasay. Meron na kaming, I think, maximum of 6,000 per day. Pero they expect naman the people to be free-flowing. Hindi naman all 6,000 in 1 hour in the same place. People will be coming and going. And if you notice, if you go there, you will notice that the halls, the booths are farther apart this time. To give ample space in the middle, we have bigger space, corridor space for people to move around. So hindi siya siksik.
Okay, are you going to let people bring their children? Because I understand, isama mo yung mga grown children, mga young adults, okay lang. Because they're part of the travel decisions. But there are people who might, bring toddlers, etc. Are you going to let them in, or would it be better for parents to just leave the toddlers at home?
Well, ang rule naman namin, as long as the parents bring their vaccination certificate, they can bring their children, because this is the same rule when you go to when the parents travel to, for example, Boracay, Palawan. As long as the two parents are vaccinated, they can bring children who are not yet vaccinated.
So public health protocols will apply. You need to bring your vaccination card.
Yes.
You need to wear your masks. You need to socially distance, and the volume, like in other tourism destinations, will be observed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yun. Para maliwanag lang, kasi ako, yun unang concern ko yun eh. Sabi ko, nako, magdidivisorya na naman to. Pag nakadinig ng salitang sale, itong si Mary Ann, sinabi kagad, maraming sale. Patay tayo dyan. Anyway, okay, ladies, let's talk about travel agencies, because that was the impression na wala na, wag ka nang pumasok dyan sa negosyo na yan kasi patay na yan, that online has killed travel agency. How many travel operators travel agencies are still around?
Well, in our case, sir, I can only speak for Philippine Tour Operators membership. Prior to pandemic, we are about 500 strong members. Peak right now, we are about 432. So that is just a very small difference from where it was for now. These are all licensed. They have the respective, because we only accept those renewing their membership if they have a complete documents, like most importantly, the business permit. That will, of course, allows you to do business. So travel agencies, tour operators are here to stay. We are here to stay. The local government, of course, is helping us. The Department of Tourism is helping us, of course. And we as an association are here also to help our members, not only our members, but all tour operators and travel agencies nationwide. So, naman po kami, andyan lang.
Marian, meron pa ba, is there still a quota for travel agencies or operators? Because I remember in the late 80s, you couldn't just open a travel agency. Hindi yung, I want to put up an agency and I will just apply in City Hall, etc. Parang may quota nun. And in fact, if I remember, people would have to buy an existing agency. What is it now? What is it like?
I know what you're talking about. This happened in the city of Manila and city of Makati, because at that time, a lot of them were mushrooming around those two cities. But now, hindi na. Now, a lot of people have spread out. We have a lot of travel agents in our neighboring cities like Cavite, Laguna, Pampanga, and everybody can, as long as you have your technical know-how, you comply with all the requirements of the opening a travel agency, you can open na.
But who is the principal regulator for travel agencies? Is it just a permit from the city hall, or is it under the Department of Tourism?
Can I answer
Both.
that, Sid?
Yes, Fe, please.
Okay. As you will agree with me, during the devolution of the licensing to the local government, it used to be, the licensing used to be with the Department of Tourism. You are correct, sometime in the 1980s. But in 1986, it was devolved down to the local government. And so, an ordinary, just like me, you applied for a business name with the Department of Trade and Industry, or SEC for that matter, if you're a corporation. And then afterwards, you go to the municipality where you would like to set up your business. And so the control now, or the power now, is with the local government, with the LGU. Now, what we are doing is, and I believe it has to be, a travel agency or a tour operator has to be accredited by the Department of Tourism, because it is the Department of Tourism who is the regulating body of all the travel services that we should offer to our client.
Okay.
So we are encouraging, and a lot of our members are all DOT or Department of Tourism accredited establishments. And that is very important. Why? Why I say so? Because if there is a complaint from a traveler, you can always go to the local government or further to the Department of Tourism, because they issue an accreditation. When you issue, the Department of Tourism doesn't simply give an accreditation. They check your authenticity, your visibility, your authenticity, your documents. They check all of those before you will be given an accreditation certificate. So you can always go to the Department of Tourism and say something about this travel agency who made some loco with you. So,
yeah, okay.
Yun lang po yung po namin na talagang we really encourage, and we are encouraging, and we are one with the Department of Tourism for the massive campaign for the accreditation of all travel agency and tour operators nationwide, because this is just not for the protection of the government, but this is more so for the protection of the traveling public.
Okay. Now, Marian, as far as operations are concerned, have the services of travel agencies changed a lot, or does it remain the same? Because in the past, you sell tickets, you make hotel bookings, land transfers, but many of that has been absorbed by destinations. Like, let's say if I'm going to stay at a particular hotel in Boracay or in Baguio, parang, sir, sa amin ka na mag-book ng land transfer mo, etc., etc. But I thought of the travel agencies recently when I found out that Japan has declared all pre-existing visas as null and void. Kumbaga, kinancel na raw lahat yung mga visas issued before the pandemic, and that you now have to apply. And I said, ito ba namang tanda ko to, papipilahin na naman ninyo ako, hindi na lang ako biyabiyahe, wala na palang travel agency. But please, can you kindly clarify that, Marian?
Yes, yung role ng travel agency has not changed. We are still your the person to go to ask the questions about visa, about passporting, about the destination, how ready are they post-pandemic, yung mga ganon. Because we, especially our association, we also get updated information from the destinations. They update us, and then we disseminate all the information to all our members. Kaya ganun po ang role namin, and that's why we are better informed and updated ang news namin. So when people want to, for example, visit Korea, visit Japan, we can give the accurate information para walang surprise when you get to the place. Especially ang isa pang babagahagi namin is when you book through a travel agency, especially for when you travel with your family, usually ngayon ang mga group travel is family eh.
Yes.
And multi-generational ang trend ngayon. So, it's not only the parents and their children, kasama ang lolo at lola.
Pati nga yung naghahatid sa airport, bara-barangay na eh.
And because nga, revenge travel nga tayo, we want the whole entire family to experience a holiday together because we all realize how short life was during the pandemic. Kaya ngayon, when we plan your travel, talagang the activities, we have to take note that the activities has to appeal to all ages. Hindi lang ho yung pangbata, hindi lang ho pang matanda, dapat yung lahat sila mag-e-enjoy.
No, Fe, may I ask, what about costs? Because, of course, I think the challenge for travel agencies since time immemorial is the public impression na, naku, pag nag-travel agent ka or you go to the agency, it's going to be an added cost, they're expensive, iba-iba ang pricing. And of course, now that we have digitalization or online, people think it's cheaper to just do it on their own. As far as your members are concerned, your accredited members in PHILTOA, what is the reality if let's say, for instance, because I always see this problem online, people will ask, oy, open na ba ang Japan? Oy, pwede na ba? Saan ba pwede magpatulong sa visa? I have to renew my visa to the United States. Paano ba mag-drop box, etc.? Those are, I think ang term doon is consular services, di ba? How expensive are consular-related services among PHILTOA members?
Well, okay. Talking about consular services, and that's exactly visa. Let's zero in to supposing U.S. Embassy, renewal of the U.S. visa for U.S. Embassy. If you are not that techie person, it is very difficult for you to renew your U.S. visa because ang daming stages, and that is where we come in as a travel agency or as a consultant. We can do these things that you cannot do, and we can deliver what you wanted to receive. Because, ang hirap kasi Cito digitalization. There are some places na hindi naman talaga makanyong Wi-Fi connectivity, and may time elapse yan. Pag nag-fill up ka ng application ng US Embassy, may time elapse yan. So pag hindi ka mabilis, mag-input ng mga data dyan, lahat ng ginawa mo sa taas, mawawala. Whereas kung kami, kaya namin, because we have been doing that every now and then, and we have that kind of service to all our clients.
And not to mention, sorry, Fe, not to mention the fact, ladies and gentlemen, you're paying a lot of money in your visa application. And if you accidentally put in the wrong answers in the wrong boxes, etc., your application can be nullified and sunog din yung pera ninyo. Nag-digital ka, nag-self-help ka, but at the end, your lack of knowledge or expertise can lead you to losing money. Now, let's talk peso and cents. I'm sorry, we're down to about 8 minutes at the most. How much do you guys charge for visa processing? Like, let's say for the US. Although I think the next available appointments or slots are already in 2023.
Okay, allow me to answer that.
Yeah.
For U.S. Embassy, considering, as I said a while ago, the stages of processing that we do, we normally charge as a professional fee, ranging from 3,500 to 5,000 pesos, depending on where we are, where is our client, you know.
Mhm.
And that includes, of course, exchanging of documents to and from the clients until such time that we already perfected the application, ready for sending to the US Embassy.
Nako, mga kaibigan, ako na magsasabi, yung boy namin sumakay ng habal-habal daw, ang tawag niya, from the farmers market bus terminal going here to Barrio Capitolio in Pasig, and he was charged 400 pesos. Okay, so do the math. I took, one of our friends took a Grab cab from Capitolio to Taft Avenue, Lasal, and she had to pay 600 pesos. So kung 3,500 to 5,000 pesos lang ang charge ng PHILTOA for visa, save yourself the anxiety, the tension, the confusion. Give it to professionals. Okay, now what other benefits are there to dealing with travel agencies?
Well, a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
Marian, go.
Well, me for one, it's if you want to go on a holiday, on a vacation, di ba we go there to have fun, to relax, to de-stress. Give the stress to travel agents. Let them handle all the stress so that when you go, lahat planchado na. You will just go and enjoy, take pictures, take your selfies, and come home with good experience. Yun ang, that's really the role of the travel agent, is to give you the best experience that you can have. Kami na ho ang bahala dun sa mga arrangements. And because ang nalilimutan din ng mga tao, sometimes on the spot, the airline suddenly cancels your flight.
Yeah.
Anong gagawin? Diba? When you're there already, anong gagawin ninyo? Kung wala kayong travel agency, you'll be forced to buy new tickets, which will cost you more. Kaya,
I did. So what would you do if it happened to me? What do you do as my travel agent?
Cito, can I answer that?
Ayan, ikaw na lang.
Go ahead.
Kami kasi, it's a standard procedure in my office. I'm speaking of my office. Like if you go to Europe or anywhere else, before you come back, or even before you fly, we always check with the airline about the status of your flight. Was it delayed? Will it be delayed or whatever, you know? And when you come back, we always check. That's why we have, a contact number with the system that we are using, so that the airline can call us. And we always check whether, you know, your flight will be on time, your flight will be, you know, will come back on the date it is stated on the ticket. We have that kind of service, and that is an ancillary service, that, you know, additional service that we give to our client, just to ensure you that, you know, you will fly back. You can go to the airport without any worry, and you will have, you know, a safe flight back to the country where you will be going. Kasama yun sa aming kwan eh. Sine-check talaga namin yun. Part talaga yun. Kung ang isang travel agency, dapat ganun ang ginagawa sa kliyente, to check everything. The hotel accommodation, the transfers, if you are in a package tour, the tour guide who will handle the food, everything. It has to be check everything to ensure that, you know, as what Mary Ann said, a seamless and smoothless travel.
Okay. We're almost done with our time. Mary Ann, what about travel insurance? Yeah, because, okay, so the flight got canceled. Is that covered by travel insurance? I know that my wife, daughter, my niece, and my sister could, well, not my wife, kasi ano naman sila Dutch citizen yung asawa ko. But the rest needed travel insurance. And hindi ka makakalipad kung wala kang travel insurance. SOP na ba yan ngayon na you cannot take off without buying travel insurance?
Well, ang mandatory is, I think, the US and Schengen countries.
Yeah.
Before you get a visa, you need travel insurance. But we as travel agents, we also advise our guests, kahit naman mag-ASEAN country ka lang or anywhere in Asia or the Middle East, it's better to still get a travel insurance. This is to ensure, ganyan nga, flight delays, lost luggage, yan ang madalas na you lose your luggage, and canceled flights that cause you to have to buy new tickets.
That's
Then,
covered by the travel insurance.
yeah. Depende yan sa anong insurance ang bibilhin ninyo. May packages din yan.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen,
yeah.
I will be the first to tell you, given the erratic, unpredictable realities of airports abroad, wag po ninyong isipin na Pilipinas lang may problema. The airport manager of Schiphol in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, had to resign, okay? Dahil talagang hindi nila maayos yung problema, nag-resign na lang yung mama. So it's really that bad. Anyway, always get travel insurance. But before we go, we're in our last minute. Fe, being the president of PHILTOA, I'll give you the chance to invite our viewers to the Travel Mart. Go ahead, please.
Iniimbitahan ko po kayo. Please find time to visit the 33rd Philippine Travel Mart this coming September 30 to October 2 at SMX halls 1 to 4. Kami po ay supported by our official credit card partner, which is the Bank of Philippine Islands. Our sponsors, of course, AirAsia, Turkish Airlines, Cebu Pacific, our national carrier, Philippine Airlines, and all other as sponsors. And of course, very thankful kami po sa aming media partners. So dito po sa Philippine Travel Mart, asahan po ninyo na makakabili po talaga kayo ng mga packages. This is not just what I am saying, but this will be a reality when you visit the mall, the Mart, the Travel Mart.
Thank you very much, Fe, Mary Ann, and I wish you all the best for the 33rd Travel Mart at the SMX Trade Hall. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We hope to see you, Cito.
Okay, thank you very much. And now let's go to our blessing for the week, which comes from the book of James, chapter 1 to 6. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. Okay, we pray that you will have answered prayers, and if you get the chance, magdasal kayo na makakuha kayo ng magandang sale offer sa 33rd Travel Mart. I'm Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us this week. God willing, I hope to see you again next week. Take care of your loved ones, and please keep it here on One News.